Ooh, check, check. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to figure something else out. I have to go to youtube.com webcam, or I might just publish my stuff just like I'm speaking right now. Um, yeah. So yeah, looks like we averted a war with Iran. So that's great. You would you would think. And I don't know, it just seems like for a long time I've been against, foreign entanglements, and Trump said he is as well. Uh I think people get confused, or no, they kind of muddy the water when they see him act aggressively to aggressors. Uh but he's fair if you look at it, you know? It's like, all right, they blew one of our planes out of the air. All right, there's nobody in it. So they say. Who knows? I don't know. I'm guessing he's right. He's telling the truth about that. There was an unmanned drone. I'm guessing, and he's like, all right, nobody died there. 150 people or so might die there, and that kind of it sounds compassionate to me. To be honest with you, it sounds compassionate. Like, okay, all right, we might have to. And not only that, he's not dumb like some people might say. I mean, he knows that if he goes in and he's like, okay, we're gonna kill 150 people with families. You know what I mean? It could start something even bigger. So I think that was a good move. But you also have to go back and ask yourself the question: was it a good move when Obama did kind of the same thing with, what was it, Syria, the red line, not going all in, you know? Remember that? I think it was gas attacks. It could have been a false flag, or maybe not, but some people did get killed. Uh, but things came out, they videotaped it, it was like, ah, man. And then it was like, from ours, the types of chemicals used had signatures that was, similar to, I guess, some of our stuff. So, I don't know. Here's what I'm saying. That's different. Okay. I would say that's different from dropping pamphlets and letting the enemy know that you're about to attack that area, so they're not there, right? That's different from what Obama did in that case, because it's like, all right, look, I'm open to the notion that possibly something, you know, might not have gone as planned. Somebody was like, Maverick, you know, they probably had their own ways of dealing with that type of thing. They probably saw where the flare came from. They probably got, like, like satellite shit. They were like, all right, I'm gonna get that motherfucker. I don't know. I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt it. But I wanted to take the time to, like, to talk about me for a minute. Okay, my experience with the Persians. Okay, I knew this dude. I know this dude from, like, Afghanistan, right? and hardworking man, beautiful family, you know, and I get him to do work for me sometimes, and we talk, and what comes across, he was talking about his like his family and his life in Afghanistan, and then later on I met this other dude, and he was like, um, yeah, I was like, so where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm Persian. I was like, oh, cool, cool. And then we started talking, and then it was like, yo, I was like, I know a guy that's from, Afghanistan. He said, yeah, that's my cousin. I was like, yeah, but he's from Afghanistan, and you said you Persian. Dude, check this shit out. Afghanistan is right next to It's like bordered with like Iran. Iran and Afghanistan are bordered uh, with each other, right? Turns out that all the way up from like, let's say, Greece. Okay, I'm gonna do it backwards. Okay, so you got Greece, and then you go down, and you got like that part of Africa, Libya, Egypt. Like you talking about like Alexander the Great type territory, right? That all of that was like the Persian Empire. Bam, all the way out to like India. Okay, or India. I don't know what it looks like on that side, so I'm just gonna like whatever. All of that was like the Persian Empire. I had to do some research because I was like, wait a minute, y'all related. But here's the thing though, man. Like every I mean, I can't say every because I might have met some people who were Persian. And I didn't know, and they could have been assholes. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there's a asshole Afghanistani or Persian somewhere out there. But all of them seem to have like a great sense of humor, or at least a sense of humor you can kind of understand. It's like, okay, they get it. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I pick up from the people who I've met, who I knew they're Persian, right? Who said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm Persian." Uh, this and that, whatever, whatever. Okay, and you know what's crazy? Today I did a party, and it's almost like I can like spot a Persian now. Like, it's funny when you get around like when you around enough people of different backgrounds and groups. It's almost like you can kind of identify what group they're coming from without it. Just being around that number of people. Like if you're around enough people, like people start to have certain types of similar energy in a way, and it's kind of weird unless I'm somehow like connected to like a different level of understanding, which I refuse to believe because I don't know enough. But like you can almost like if I meet somebody that's like from like Eastern Europe versus like somebody from like I don't know, just anywhere, dude. Now, I will have to say Asia eludes me because it's so huge, and I'm still having a problem with my Asians in like South America, like all of that shit down there. It's hard, like, but like meeting a lot of different people from like the Western. and like verging on that like Middle Eastern area, you know. Uh, you know, it's kind of cool to be able to like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of get with that vibe, or I understand that vibe, like knowing who you are or where you're from. You know what I mean? And it kind of helps when you understand where people are coming from, to how you can like kind of deal with people. You know what I mean? Like okay, I like for people who have kids or who don't have kids, or people who have siblings, you have to understand that you love your children, right? But you got, let's say you just got two kids. Those are two completely different people. Like, I'm not saying to like completely change, like you have to completely change how you deal with one, like you got to show this one. But sometimes, yeah, you do. You have to deal with different people differently, so that they can understand, and maybe kind of like so tying this all back to this whole Iran thing, I think that connects with people from that area more than, yeah, we're gonna blow the shit out. We're gonna like, we're gonna, turn it into glass, or whatever. You know what I mean? That connects better on a different level. So I would probably assume that maybe things, relationships might start to change a little bit with Iran, which could have a cascading effect with the relationship with Russia, which really I don't think it's like it's a bad relationship with Russia, but like it's almost like North Korea, right? If you got if you dealing with a dude in a country who seems cool and he's cool, right? But you know that he's could be out of office within the next, you know, 2 to 6 years, and you got this crazy faction over here saying, blow up everything, tear everything down, destroy everything. Yeah, open everything up and just let everything go to waste, right? It's almost like, okay, you're not really just dealing with this dude, you're dealing with a whole nother issue, which is completely bigger than that guy. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, you cool with me, but it's like your people, you know, your people are fucking crazy. So, you know, I don't know. What do you think? I think it's a good thing for right now. Anyway, therefore, on the other hand, nevertheless, word and peace.